At AER, we're known around the world for our expertise in radiative transfer. We have some of the most accurate ways possible to compute how light moves around in the atmosphere and on the Earth. And we've always had an emphasis from our founding on scientific research as an important objective of the company. So our staff participate in professional societies, and work side by side with academic colleagues, with colleagues in industry and government agencies, and we're a full participant in the scientific enterprise.
When I walked in here 25 years ago, I was struck by the fact this is a private company, but they publish all these science papers. There were 25, 30 papers up on the bulletin board, and we still do this. We still publish a number of papers every year.
We have a tremendously diverse customer base, from government agencies sponsoring basic research to universities who we work with side by side as collaborators in discovering new science, as well as with prime contractors implementing operational systems.
Clouds have an impact on everyday life, from influencing where and when aircraft fly over particular locations to influencing the accuracy of medium range and climate models in numerical weather prediction. Early on, it was apparent in the late 70s and early 80s that the volumes of satellite data were increasing dramatically, and users were having not enough time to process these images. So it was quickly apparent that quantitative techniques to process these data sets were in need, to free the users from this time-consuming process of subjective image interpretation. The Air Force is interested in clouds because they fly in them. They want to know where they are and when they're going to be in a particular location. We have other commercial-based customers that are interested in clouds for similar reasons. We have some customers that want to know where clouds are so that when they point their instruments at a particular location, they'll know whether or not they'll be able to see the Earth's surface. The main products of our cloud algorithms are cloud detection analyses and short-term forecasts, and the retrieval of radiative properties that have an influence on the accuracy of medium range and climate models in numerical weather prediction.
AER is internationally recognized for developing the gold standard for radiative transfer models, a model that other modelers use to evaluate their own work. Satellite remote sensing can provide a lot of information on clouds, but can also provide information on just about anything else you'd like to know about the atmosphere. You can determine how much water vapor there is in the atmosphere, how much ozone, you can measure temperature profiles. My work is actually concentrated on measuring trace gases. Gases exist in very small amounts, but which play an important role in air quality.
Our radiation models have been relied upon by the atmospheric community for more than 3 decades, and that's because we take great care in assuring the accuracy of our models. We helped pioneer the use of radiative closure experiment. We've led Department of Energy field campaigns to the far reaches of the world, the Arctic and high mountains of Chile, to obtain measurements that have improved our models. Our highly accurate models are far too slow to run in atmospheric prediction models or to process the large volume of satellite measurements that are obtained around the globe. So we've used that highly accurate model as a foundation to develop parameterizations that are fast enough to run for these purposes. So for instance, our flux and heating rate fast model, RTMG, is used operationally by all the NOAA prediction models at NCAR, at ECMWF, and in WRF. And our fast radiance model is used operationally to process EASI satellite measurements and is being implemented at the U.S. Joint Center for Satellite Data Assimilation.
AER was the primary software architect for NOAA's new GOES-R weather satellite series. For this work, we developed more than 20 algorithms that process data from the satellite and turn that into products. NOAA then distributes those products to forecasters and researchers across the Western Hemisphere. NOAA also takes those products and puts them directly into their own weather forecast models. This is also a key input to the daily weather forecasts produced by the National Weather Service. AER worked with the World Bank to study how changes in soot emissions would affect the Himalayan glaciers, and also how that would affect the access to fresh water in South Asia. Our role for this was to study the complex interaction between radiation, clouds, dust, and soot. For this work, we used an AER-developed radiative transfer model to account for how soot would affect the atmospheric temperature, cloud cover, and snowfall rate over the glaciers. We quantified this to create a rate at which the dust and soot would accumulate in the glaciers. World Bank will use this information to calculate changes in reflectivity and melting rate of the glaciers.
Over the last 40 years, we have transitioned a number of our research products into operational algorithms that provide a number of cloud products to various users from the U.S. government to private and commercial companies. As our customers present us with new challenges in the cloud detection and forecast arena, we tap into our 40 years worth of experience to help us meet those challenges.
And I think one of the things that's led to the amount of recognition we have is we're able to take a basic research understanding that might have only been recently arrived at and take that all the way through to an operational system solving a contemporary problem without losing the integrity of the science through the whole process.